Good morning, welcome back to the channel. So I want to talk to you about alcohol. Right, so I'm 40 years old. Up until this point, I never really drank. Occasionally, when I was younger, I would have went obviously to nightclubs and things like that. I haven't been to a nightclub for a long time. It was never really my scene. When I went to university, when I was maybe 17, 18 and stuff, initially, the few times that I did try to go to nightclubs with the couple of mates that I had, we would always get knocked back, not tonight, not tonight, usual. So I get bored of that very quickly. And the few times that we did get in, and I did get drunk. It didn't take much to get me drunk, and I was always very ill the next day, like proper chucking up, vomiting, banging headache. And after like only a few times of that happening, so we're literally talking about maybe 4 bottles of Magners, and I'd be chucking up the next day, like spewing my ringer. Um, just really bad headaches and things like that. After a couple of times of that happening, I just completely lost interest in drinking. So I, like I say, I was never a party animal anyway, so I just never really drank, to be honest. But since I've turned 40, um, I've kind of developed a wee bit of a taste for German beer. There was a few of them in the thumbnail, you might have noticed. So things like Löwenbräu, Hofbräu, Augustiner, like the Munich Six as they're known. I've tried all six of them actually now. So you've got that Hackershore, what's the other one, Paulaner. I'm not too keen on that. I find it just a wee bit of an aftertaste on it, which just doesn't really sit right with me. And what's the other one? Spaten, which is quite good as well. So I'm quite. I was actually. I've been to Munich in 2010 with my partner. Me and her went to Munich, um, and we got to try like obviously a few of the beers there and that, right? But anyway, so that was 16 years ago. I'd quite like to go back to Munich at some point, if I'm able to save up enough to be able to do that. With of various circumstances in my life just now that mean that things are pretty tight. I'm not going to go into a big spiel about that. Everybody's got their issues, do you know what I mean? But at some point in the future, I would like to return to Munich. But so I managed to find like a few craft beer shops that sold Munich beer. Actually, what got me back into it was when I turned 40, my partner managed to get me one of those like 1 litre Maskrugs, and she got me some of the Hofbräu Original and the Hofbräu Dunkel. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And she showed me the website that she got it from and that. But obviously, I found it like there was a couple of craft beer shops in the West End of Glasgow that sell that stuff. And it's not too far from where she works over in the West End. So I decided that I'd try and source this beer. And like on a I've stopped working a Saturday now just because like I was doing 6 days. I was doing Monday to Saturday in my job, and it was just it was affect my mental health. You were only getting a Sunday off, and it was just you couldn't the nicer weather. You couldn't really plan anything. Do you know what I mean? So I decided to ditch the Saturday, and what I've started doing now is I've started having a wee beer on a Saturday night. Now, most people will probably laugh at this, right? But I've started off with just having like one beer on a Saturday night, so like one 500 ml bottle or something like Löwenbräu, Hofbräu, or something like that. But the past couple of Saturdays, the past 2 Saturdays, I've had 2 beers. Woohoo! 2 beers. Crazy, I know, right? Okay, but like this has kind of become like for like the past month anyway, every Saturday. Like, I don't drink during the week, right? I do not drink during the week, but on a Saturday anyway, I've decided to have maybe one or two beers. And most people go the other way. Most people that have been drinking for years and years and years, when they hit 40 and all that, they decide that they're going to give up alcohol because they end up with maybe a wee bit of an alcohol dependency, and they find that they're kind of a wee bit dependent on it, and they maybe have a glass of wine maybe during the week and a couple of days and all that. I have never been like that, never, okay? But I've developed a wee bit of a taste for the Munich beers now, on a Saturday anyway. So I'm just wondering, right, am I on a slippery slope here? Do I need to watch what I'm doing, or are you just laughing at the fact that I'm having like one, maybe two beers on a Saturday night, maybe one on a Sunday as well, and then not drinking till the next weekend? So I'm just wondering what people's thoughts are, because it seems that I'm sort of starting to do the opposite of what most people are doing. I don't think I'm developing a dependency on it. I definitely don't. But I have quite an addictive personality. When some topic of the thing comes into my head, right, I tend to fixate on it. I've just always been like that. I don't know if it's a wee bit of the autism in me or whatever, but I'm just wondering what people's thoughts are if you've got this far and you've got any comments to make. I would very much like to hear. Do you think it's a bad habit I'm getting into? Or is it just a case of there's many, 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 many people that drink a ton of beer or whatever or wine at the weekend and they're absolutely fine? Let me know what you think, guys. Thanks for watching.